Hey guys, so today we're going to do something a little bit different than what I normally do. One of the things I very often get asked is a particular strategy good for a hot table, a cold table, a choppy table, and what? So I've been working on a way to really analyze the performance of a strategy so that I can answer that question. So I have this section here called Analysis of Table Conditions. This is the iron cross. On the x-axis, we have the 7 to rolls ratio. And on the y-axis, we have the amount that the bots won or lost over the session. Each area is one or more bots, and the white area, that's where most of the bots actually ended up, because of course, most of the time you have choppy tables. If the SRR is less than 4.5, I'm classifying as a cold table, and if it's more than 7.5, then I classify it as a hot table. You can see here a very clear correlation between 7 to rolls ratio and the amount won, and it is going up, and of course it's higher for hot tables. Now, that's not going to surprise us for an iron cross, which is definitely a light side kind of strategy. Let me show you what the actual numbers look like. So here we have each category. So the hot tables, there was 15,917 bots that played on hot tables. 100% of them won money, and you can see all the statistics here. On average, they won $1,055. The most any bot won was $45.30. On choppy tables, 34% of them won, and that's these bots in this area here. So that's 34%, and this will be the other, 66%. And their average was a loss of 205, but they had a decent number of winners as well. Cold tables, nobody won. See, everything in here is below 0. And their average loss was 1257. The minimum lost, which is the maximum won, is $470. Now, that's good enough for the Iron Cross. Let's take a look at one of the other strategies that I've been working on, which is called the 5 Alive. This is the version I haven't finished the video yet, but it's the 5 Alive with the VIG up front. Now, if we look at the actual scatter plot for 5 Alive, it's the exact opposite. So now the correlation is in a negative direction, and as a 7 to rolls ratio and the table gets hotter, then you have fewer winners. And that's because this is, essentially a don't pass and a lay betting strategy with don't come bets. If we look at the numbers here, we can see on cold tables, 98.4% are winning. Hot tables, only 1.1%. So there's a few in there, but they're few and far between. And choppy tables, 43.2%, which of course is always going to be the majority of the tables. It was 71,204 tables or bots, we should say. Now, you might be wondering, are there other shapes that the data can take? And that's an absolute yes. So one of the ones that I found kind of interesting was, let me open this one up, is the one. So this is the one from Wayland. And I did a video on it last month. And let me show you what this one looks like. So here, this is the one, and this one has a almost inverted U shape. So you see cold tables do bad, hot tables do bad, choppy tables in the middle actually do the best out of the entire group. And you can see this in numbers. If we look here, choppy tables win rate is 66%, cold tables 23.8, hot tables 42.4%. Again, really interesting that this simple relationship between the 7 to rolls ratio and the amount won or lost really shows how table conditions a particular strategy is likely to excel on. Now, I do have to note that I don't believe that you're going to be able to tell whether a table is hot, choppy, or cold before you actually play it and before you actually see the rolls. However, I think it is a good way to explore strategies and see what strategies might work under which conditions and and really get to understand the properties of different crap strategies. So that's why I spent some time really trying to figure this out and making these charts. So I think this has very good predictive power in terms of telling you what conditions a strategy is going to be really good for. And I'm going to include this in my videos from now on. And it's also available if you order a custom simulation. You can go to dicedata.info/services and you can see the pricing and put in an order. And I'll give you this information with another 20 pages of statistics that relate to your strategy. Thanks for watching.